is Way Up with Angela Yee, and what an honor
Hi.
to have Lencia Kebede here. I've seen you doing press, Good Morning America. I know you did the Breakfast Club.
Yep.
And we already said you are going to be outside.
Yes,
Outside.
correct.
But, of course, you are starring in Wicked on Broadway, the first Black Alphaba full-time.
Correct.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I was watching your journey, too, of your first day, like you documented going and having your debut performance and the audience and everybody was like crying because that is an emotional play.
Yes.
When you're watching it. Yeah.
It is ups and downs like crazy.
Well, congratulations on that because I know like even going to Broadway, I love going to Broadway plays, but sometimes I feel like I don't see enough of us.
Fair. That's
there.
totally fair.
In the audience and especially not enough of us represented on the stage. I feel like that's all correlated. So what did that mean to you when you first heard the news? Because I know it was a lot of back and forth, auditioning, not knowing what was going to happen.
I just felt like it was an opportunity to tell my story and the story of my community in like a very passionate and honest way, especially in a character that has a lot of agency in her own life, even though the world is kind of against her in the story. Like, just like her arc is so inspiring and so personal to me, and that she just stays so true to herself through all this hardship. So like, it was an opportunity to tell a story through the eyes of a character who is strong and like sure of herself, which is just so inspiring to me.
And you've been, doing this. It's interesting to me, your whole background, how you even got here.
Yeah.
Because this is not something that initially you intended to even happen.
Right.
For you to even be in musicals, to be acting. That was never the goal. Like, you know how some people growing up, they're like, I want to be on stage.
Interestingly, like as a kid, I had a specific dream of being on Broadway. I also just had other things that I had passions for and that I loved. Like I played sports. I was super involved in academics and my church and volunteering and obviously theater and singing as well. And it wasn't until like towards the end of college that I was like, no, I think I'm going to like pivot and like really pursue this because I was just so curious. I've been so driven by like, what are the things that I'm capable of that I don't even know that I'm capable of yet.
That's a great way to think.
You know?
Because graduating from college is...
Where are we going?
Right.
Like,
where are we going?
What are we doing?
What did you, when you had dreams of being on Broadway when you were younger, was there specific...
Ooh, that's a great question. I always say I dreamt in feelings, not specific destinations. And I feel like that's left my aperture very open to so many possibilities. And I dreamt of feeling how I feel right now. Like I'm doing something that matters to me, matters to my community, and matters to the entertainment industry and the world as a whole, especially because the movie is just like it's this large platform. So I feel like that is what drove me to here.
Your parents also came here from Ethiopia.
Yep.
And so watching everything that's going on right now, I know that means a lot to you too, just with your background, your family background, but also your education background and what it is that you represent and what Alphaba represents. It couldn't be a better marriage, it feels like.
I agree.
For you to like combine your background, but also your passions.
Yes. I feel like I'm playing a very hot-headed version of myself. She is hype and she's very easily triggered and explosive. So I don't necessarily like present like that, but like the core of who she is, what she stands for, how empathetic she is to everyone, to all beings, human or not, is very true to who I am and who my family raised me to be.
If somebody, for some reason, is under a rock and haven't seen Wicked, the play or the movie, how would you describe Alphaba's character for people who are watching? Because there's a lot of underlying meanings. You could be watching it just for entertainment, but it's the type of thing where later on you can reflect and say, actually, this has a lot of different meanings because the music is beautiful on there. You know, the plot and the storyline, you can go in there.
The spectacle.
Yeah, and not have to think that hard. But then when you do, you're like, this represents so much more. What would you say if somebody asked you what Alphaba represents?
I think Alphaba represents challenging preconceived ideas of the world around you. She believes in the wizard. The whole beginning of the story is her pursuing this like childhood dream of meeting him and getting to work with him, and then she finds out that he's not who he says he is. So that like disillusionment that she experiences, I feel like is very representative of what is happening in the world right now, unfortunately. So I believe Alphaba represents not taking things for face value, including herself. Everything she experiences is also like a microcosm of what she has to deal with in her life, in her own identity. So like this concept of like good and evil, like Glinda the good and Alphaba the wicked witch. So like this one's bad and this one's good.
Greene
why?
is
But why?
bad.
Yeah, it's
And-
just the whole story is about questioning. Why have we decided just because this entity is different that it's a threat? And I feel like but at the end they become one. Glinda and Alphaba become close, and Alphaba literally tells Glinda, "I need you not to." What did she say? What does she say? Me.
I think you should know.
I think I should know. She says, "Don't try to like save face for me. Don't try to clear my name." And so everyone sees Glinda at the beginning, just like making this beautiful public appearance. Everything's fine, like I don't care about the Wicked Witch. Meanwhile, in the background, what you don't see is that Alphaba told her to. So like that's just a small example of just not taking things for what they are, because you just don't know what's happening behind closed doors.
Even Alphaba being Greene and how that happened.
Yeah.
I also feel like that's a theme too when you think about why she even is, the decisions or things that could happen that get passed down that affect you.
Generational trauma, or just like how we take care of ourselves now is how the next generation will live. That's the world that they will live in. How we take care of the earth right now is how our next generation will live. So yeah, that's a really, really good point. How she became Greene in the first place is also something to...
Based on her mom.
Come on, yeah.
I want to ask you with that about your parents and how they feel about, because I know they are so proud of you.
Yes.
But even the work ethic that you have, because there's, like you said, a lot of different directions you could have gone in life.
Yes.
And so talk to me about what that support system was like, because sometimes parents can see something in their kids and really encourage that, or also feel scared for you that maybe, we got to make sure she's got this background just in case as a plan B. That's how parents can think.
They were so supportive, especially being immigrant African parents, and like still giving me the space to pursue these creative dreams. Most of the, I don't know, adults, the people that are older than me in my family are in tech and academia and politics. So like for me to just be like, hey, I'm going to go sing now. They're like, they couldn't even understand the industry, but they knew me. They trusted me. So like, I think that superseded any fears or anxieties they had, even though they still had concerns, because I would still get questions a couple years into my career, like, so when are you going to law school? Right. I'm like, that's a valid question, because that is how I presented, and now I'm changing it all up. So I do appreciate you going along this ride, but they really did. They trusted me, and like, they trusted my vision and my work ethic, and I think that's... And we also had a lot of very open communication about these things, so that I feel like helped them maintain trust in the process.
Because you didn't just pop up, obviously, on Wicked. You had a background.
Yes.
And it was a grind to get there.
Oh, 100%.
So, because I know you've done productions of Hamilton, which is amazing. I mean, Hamilton was groundbreaking as well,
yes,
in
special.
itself. Of course, we know Beyonce. For a couple of weeks, you did those rehearsals with Beyonce. And so... During that time, did it feel like, how patient were you? Because I know sometimes when you have like this fire that you want to show the world. So how was that for you? And had you auditioned for things on Broadway before this? Yeah,
I did. I was always auditioning throughout my career, when I was in Hamilton. Before that, I was in Rent. And then before that, I worked in Disneyland in Tokyo. So the whole time I was always auditioning for stuff. But
Disneyland in Tokyo is wild.
It's
you
crazy.
Gotta tell me about that.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, Tokyo is literally so amazing. I would like go live there right now. Everything about it. Like the culture is so hospitable. Just the transportation. Like the city is just like clean as hell, and you can get around so easily, and it's so beautiful. The food is amazing. So like, throughout all of those experiences, I was also auditioning for big Broadway stuff. Anything I can get my hands on, I was like, let's go. Say yes to life, right? Yeah. Let's go for it. But I feel like God gave me a lot of things, and patience is not one of them. But I feel like maybe that has helped me because I just like have always had this fire.
Sense of urgency.
Yeah, but like in therapy, I definitely have to talk about, being patient, because things can't happen on my time all the time. And like, that's what's kept me grounded, is like trusting that the universe has always had like a plan for me. Like if there's this fire in me, it has to be there for a reason. Right. I don't feel this way for no reason. And that's what's kind of like kept me aligned with my goals, even when things maybe weren't going the way I wanted them. I was like, no, but the universe, whatever you might believe in, God has a plan. for where I'm supposed to be, and I just have to like literally just keep going forward.
Because sometimes things happen too fast.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready for
Oh
it,
Lord.
that could be like, man, I shouldn't have,
Yes.
But so talk to me about that first day, right? Because we saw some footage. We saw you walking in, seeing yourself on the poster, and that curtain call, just going on stage. So after that, I mean, is it that you get on the stage and then your nerves are gone, or tell me how? I just want to hear.
Yo, I'd be nervous
because most
hell.
of us will never experience what something like that is.
100%. I become painfully aware of everyone looking at me at very random places during the show. Like, it's so, I'm like, oh my God. But then I just like divert back to like Alphaba's thoughts and the land of Oz. So anytime I'd get nervous, I would just try to literally focus on the world in front of me. Like, ground myself on the stage, like feel my feet on the ground and look at the actor I'm performing with, sort of thing. But I was super nervous. I had like 60 friends and family there at my first show. Like, it was not only a historical moment for our community, but also my Broadway debut. Like, I'd never performed on Broadway before. I've never even lived in New York before.
Wow.
So
it's a lot of firsts.
It was a lot of firsts at once. So like, I took a little video before I went on for the first time on my debut day, because I was like, I gotta remember this feeling. And like, I was just literally talking to the camera, not for anyone, just for me, just being like, oh my God, like this is happening. And I wanted to just cry and like scream because I was so happy and so excited. But like, I couldn't even let myself feel the excitement because that would have taken me out of the character's mind,
right?
The character's
so you have to
worldview.
be like, I am Alphaba.
Yeah, absolutely. But I still struggle with nerves all the time, and that's part of the like. That's why I always preach like a strong relationship to self or any spirituality, because like it really helps me stay grounded in high stress situations. Even
doing 8 shows a week, that is strenuous. And I know you've said you've gotten the advice of not to be too hard on yourself, because there are times that like you have to improvise because we wouldn't know.
Right.
But that would be something that you do, and I'm sure on stage it can happen.
Some things, yeah.
Yeah, because it has to at times. Somebody else says something that they weren't supposed to say.
100%. 100%. Things like that happen all the time.
And so that's a lot of trust between you guys, too, as actors.
Being a creative.
Talk to me about the rehearsals process and how that was, and even you building a great relationship with Glinda. Ali
Trim,
yeah. So talk to me about having that strong relationship with Glinda, and also being able to kind of get in there with the rest of your cast members and bond. Like, what are some of the things that you do besides just rehearsals?
Yeah, I think we like try to spend quality time together. I always can't because my role is very intense and very taxing, and I just don't have a lot of time. It's kind of isolating. However, like I knew in the audition process that I wanted to get to know these people as much as I could. I want to know about their families and how they think and how they feel. Because like having that one-on-one vulnerable personal connection like really makes me feel like we're doing this together. So as much as we could, we just chill. Like they come, the other characters, the Bach, the Glinda, the Nessa, they come into my dressing room and we just hang out and chit chat about whatever, about nothing. And those little moments like really bring that cohesion on stage that you're talking about, like that real trust. Because it's hard. The show is hard. It's long. It's intense. It's high stakes.
That's like one of the longest shows on Broadway.
I know that in Hamilton.
For us in the audience, it doesn't feel long.
And exactly. And I feel like we work on like the pacing of the storytelling to keep it engaging, but that also requires a lot of trust because I make mistakes. We all make mistakes all the time in the show, and we have to be able to look at each other in the eye and be like, "No, I got you. Like we're doing this,
right? Get it back on track."
Yeah. So that I think the trust that you brought up is like key to something like this.
So what do you do to wind down as yourself in real life as Lencia? Like, what is it that you're doing when after 8 shows in a week and you're like, okay.
Nature. I live by the water. I like to sit by the water.
In New York?
Like trees.
Okay.
New York
Kudos
water.
to that.
New York dirty water. But it's water. And it's calming to me because I'm from California. I'm a beach girl. So like I need to feel that. It just brings me to earth, especially when I'm in this literal black dark box at the theater like all day or all week, whatever. So I feel like I need to get outside. And there's just a lot of like chilling on my own, watching movies, watching TV, connecting with friends and family too. Even if it's just FaceTime, like that helps me feel like I'm winding down because it just makes me feel like I have more balance.
What are you watching on TV?
I just finished Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. I'm obsessed. It's It's so silly, and I'm obsessed.
So I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's so
I'm trying
ridiculous.
To get some recommendations.
It's silly.
Because every time I finish something, I'm like, okay, now what's next?
Literally, I feel like my life is over when I finish a TV show. I'm like, well, what's my purpose?
And sometimes you're so upset, like I gotta wait for another season. Squid Game's coming back.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, and also, and just like that, the Sex and the City like spinoff. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Did you watch the original Sex and the City? Because I know. Okay. How do you like living? Speaking of Sex and the City, how are you liking living in New York?
I love it.
Okay,
it's helpful that I've wanted to live here since I was very young, because I feel like if you don't want to live here, this is not the place to like try it out, because it's crazy. But I love it. I love the energy. I love how like there's like food late night, like everything is going all the time.
Food available. That's one thing. When I travel and I go other places and I'm like, dang, I can't order food. Like what? There's nothing open.
Shocking.
Literally.
I'm gonna starve and die.
Like, but LA, I feel like stuff is open late.
Sometimes. But it still surprises me because a city like this is like literally doesn't sleep. But LA, sometimes it.
So you went to the Tonys also.
Yeah.
They said this year was like one of the best Tonys ever. So tell me how you felt at the Tonys. What was that like? Who did you?
I was tearing up. I was like, this is my community. And we're doing such beautiful things. There's so many beautiful stories being told, specifically stories of Black and brown communities. And like, so many shows are being led by people of color right now, and it's so inspiring to me. So I was just like, I was kind of pinching myself. I was like, it's such a privilege to be among incredibly creative and intelligent peers in that space.
I know you said that Cynthia Erivo also sent you flowers.
Yes, she's so sweet.
Right before you were doing your debut performance.
So thoughtful, so cute. Yeah.
And you're right about that, because I think Broadway has become a lot more diverse from what I've seen, because I go to a lot of different things. I'm always disappointed when something comes and goes fast.
Me too, because I got attached. I'm like, oh, that's a good story. There's beautiful performances.
But I also want to make sure that we're going. You know what I'm saying? Because like I went to go see like Jaja's hair braiding. I went to go see the What a Wonderful World.
Yeah.
And those are such amazing stories. And I'm like, man, we need people to like really. It's hard to get some things like promoted, because not a lot of things. Wicked has had like, what is it, the 4th longest running show?
Something like that. Yeah, third or fourth. I can't even tell you.
On Broadway, and that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? The Lion King, I've seen that multiple times.
Same. I can see it every week. I would be down.
Yeah, MJ. You know, there's certain things that just really like, and you're in one of those like foundational Broadway plays that if somebody comes to New York,
they're going to see Wicked.
Go see Wicked, right? And you got to take the family. You got to,
exactly.
Even my man liked it.
I know, that's right. Because that's the thing about this show is like people who are not even in this world,
he was invested.
Are so moved by the story, which is why it's so crazy for me to be in this moment, because I'm like, as a kid, I idolized Wicked as like something that defined Broadway, and now I became the thing that I'm idolizing. Like, it's so crazy, and it means so much to so many people who have never even experienced theater like that. So,
do you see a difference in just young people seeing somebody like you playing the character Alphaba, like a renowned character? Do you see anything like, I don't know if they do any studies to see like, well, has this increased the number of people that are, young Black and brown girls that want to go
to see theater? I definitely feel like, from what I've heard internally in the company, that like sort of the statistics of like the audience demographics have shifted a lot, and I'm just generally seeing more Black and brown faces in the audience. Like when I can only see a few rows, but even if I like maybe walk a little bit near the lobby, like it's amazing to see how the diversity in attendance is shifting, and I mean racially, but also just like ages. Right. It's so impressive to me.
Yeah, I think sometimes people feel like it's a little out of reach for them, but then when you go and you're like, okay, this is not...
I can relate. I can see someone like me or something.
And I've heard also people talk about musicals and be like, but this is like the music alone stands by itself.
Completely agree.
What's your favorite song to sing?
No Good Deed. It's an act 2. It's just a badass moment. I feel so powerful. Like... And it's one of those songs where like she's just experiencing so many emotions at once. Like every line is another shift in her internal experience. And it's just like this labyrinth that I get to like sift through to get to this place where I'm like, you know what? Forget all these pressures that are being put on me. You want me to be evil? You want me to be the Wicked Witch? I'm going to be the Wicked Witch. It's like this beautiful resignation. And it's very pointed and it's very intense, but it's powerful, man. I love it.
Could you imagine if they would have asked you to play Glinda?
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, what if I came back and was Glinda? That'd be kind of crazy.
That would be.
I would enjoy it. It would be kind of silly. It would be silly. I would enjoy it.
So what do you see as yourself like now? Because I know you've envisioned being on Broadway. You wanted
Yeah.
this since you were young. So now what do you envision? Like what's next? Because I know you're thinking about that.
Yeah, of course. I think I'm super excited to start building characters from the ground up, new characters, whether they're on screen, originating a Broadway show, or I'm super into animation. I love Disney. I want to be a new Disney princess one day.
Okay, we see it.
We hopefully
Put it out there.
Right. So yeah, I've been in long running shows, Wicked, Hamilton, and Rent, played characters that people know so well. So I'm feeling uber creative now. Like I'm just like, now that I've conquered this thing, I'm like, I didn't even know I could do this. So like, what else do I not know that I can do?
Right.
Now I gotta see. Now I gotta
feel
know.
like theater is definitely harder than television and film.
I would say they're different difficulties because I have the 8-show week to like rev up my energy, and I have the entirety of a show to build the arc of a character. But when I'm doing like a single episode of a show, like that's like a snapshot in a moment of a character's life, and oftentimes the future of the series is not even written yet.
Right.
So it's like I don't even know where my end point is. So I would say physically, it's probably it's easier on screen because we're not doing 8 shows a week.
Right.
But the intensity of the camera being right in front of your face.
Yeah, and also no do-overs. Like you got it.
I mean, not you do get do-overs on screen.
No, I mean
on
yeah,
stage,
on
right? So like
stage.
it's incredibly vulnerable. So it's just like, I would say it's just different difficulties in both.
Who's been the most like, wow, I can't believe this person reached out to me?
That's such a good question. I was pretty. Let me see. I don't want to forget anybody. I mean, John Chu, the director of the Wicked movie, hit me up like immediately when the press release came out, and I was like,
That's amazing.
"Hey, I'm obsessed!" Like I'm obsessed with everything he's done. He's so brilliant, and his like the way his mind works. I was just like, John, if you can hear me, I can't wait for us to do a project together.
That's right.
He's just the homie. Like he's from California, like me, so like he's very down to earth and like just like incredibly supportive for someone I've never actually met. Like just supportive from afar. Yeah.
All right, we love it.
I know.
Well, I'll be watching you and following everything that you have going on. And
Appreciate you.
congratulations, too. You represent amazing.
Thank you.
You know, for
Thank
everybody
you.
that wants to go out there. If you haven't seen Wicked, shame on you. But, you know, make sure you get a chance to go because I've already been a couple of times. And listen, I don't even have time like that.
Right.
But when I tell you, if anytime I have like a little spare time,
It's worth it.
Let's go again. You
Yeah,
know?
it's fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.